Good morning, everyone. Our topic for today is product inventory system. The purpose of materials management is to support the transformation of raw material and component parts into shipment or finished good. This is the five function of inventory. When we say pipeline inventory, refers to inventory items in the company's shipping chain that have yet to reach their final destination. These items are considered to be part of the shipper's inventory during their transit up until the recipient has paid for them. When we say cycle inventory or cycle stock inventory, is the portions of inventory that a seller cycle through to fulfill regular sales orders. Cycle inventory is used and replace new items or turnover. And when we say buffer stock, is an excess amount of raw materials kept on hand to guard against any unplanned inventory storage leading into the production process. When we say seasonal inventory, is a stock which is in high demand during particular time of the year, such as during Christmas or Halloween. These periods of time often coincide with the different seasons, and managers need to be proactive in preparing for the waxing and waning of demand during these key times. When we say decoupling inventory, is the term used when product manufacturer set aside extra raw materials or work in progress item for all or some stage in production line so that a low stock situation or being breakdown at one stage doesn't slow or stop operation. These five basic functions of inventory has fundamental to achieve smooth flow, reasonable equipment utilization, and materials handling cost, and maintenance of good customer service. Periodical and inventory audit of the five functions must be performed to compare and should have and the actual investment of each function. Material requirements planning and capacity requirements. When planning to acquire materials, whether raw materials, component parts, or finished good, the capacity must be considered for the buyer and seller. Each material acquisition must be translated into a capacity requirements by the supplier. For example, suppose we have a scenario as shown in the next section. Capacity planning is the process of evaluating all available production resources, including machinery, staffing, and work centers, to understand if the manufacturer will be able to meet customer demand now and in the future. There are many key factors direct affecting capacity planning operation management. Capacity planning. Say capacity is the potential to produce 5 assemble an hour, although the short-term capacity may be higher. Effective capacity is range of substantial output under normal condition. That is a rate. A manufacturing plant is designed to produce 1,000 units of product a day. Then, capacity and inventory. A general inventory is stored capacity. If the capacity is insufficient to satisfy peak demand for production, which seasonal sales, finished good inventory can be accumulated during period of low demand. Capacity and inventory where assets can include anything about surrounding environment and its various consti- consti- constituents like people, institution, natural resources, physical spaces, economic infrastructure. Capacity refers especially to skill or personalized assets of individual. Then, throughput time, the delay between receipt of raw materials and availability of the finished goods produced from them is throughput time or TPT. The concept applies also to single components of the supply chains. For example, we speak of the TPT for the plant distribution center is the actual time taken for a product to be manufactured. This is the duration of time required for the production process as well as the other time period involved in converting raw materials into finished good. Then, order cycle. The order cycle is both a link and a set of activities. As a link, the order cycle facilities the flow of information and materials like information, order, billing, required, material, money, and title. Then, integrated material system. It is one necessary that all resources flow between components occur at the same time or in the same manner. This idea is called channel separation and is useful when designing supply distribution system like air, rail, truck, water, and pipeline. Then trade-off involves is then trade-off involves speed, reliability, inventory, and cost. For lightweight, high valued items, overnight parcel express might be justified, but this would not be the case for heavy low margin. But this would not be the case for heavy, low margin, non-critical item. Customer order also may be transmitted by alternative technology like telephone, postal service, internet, fax, and EDI. Then, order cycle activities. The order cycle is not only a link but a set of activities. The principal activities and the locus of responsibility are like order preparation, responsibility by customer. Then order transaction is a responsibility of the customer. Then order processing is responsibility by the supplier. Then order transactions is also responsibility of the supplier. Then order receipt is responsibility by our customer. Then lead time. Lead time, if we are represent the order cycle as set of activities, we can identify an important property of the order. Some may argue that lead time begins when the order is transmitted. Well, go a step earlier and includes order preparation, which begins when the need is recognized. Lead time is the amount of time that passes from the start of the process until conclusions. Companies review lead time in a manufacturing supply chains management and project management during processing and post-processing stage. Then customer satisfaction. A managers of integrated material system have two objectives. One, customer satisfaction. Two, minimum total material cost. Earlier, we spoke about customer service, whether the term service level or fill rate is used, the idea is the same. The fraction of customer demand that is satisfied without delaying or receive as promises. Then, materials availability. Two cases must be distinguished if a firm makes product are completed and shipped as promised. Conceivable, an order may be rescheduled at the request of the customer, in which case the revised date is used to determine whether the order was shipped on time, early or late. The second case is the firm that reduced standard products in anticipation of demand for them, a make-to-stock or MTS firm. Then, on-time shipment. This element of customer service is variation on the nation of the availability. On-time shipment has to do with the delivery promise made and the ratio of orders shipped as promised to total order. On-time shipment, a metric used to assess the availability of a business in fulfilling the shipment order within the period promised of delivery date. Then, on-time receipt. Customer place order based on need dates. The more imminent the calendar date, the more urgently material is needed. To say an item is needed for the 10th of the month means that if the item is not actually in hand on that date, there are consequences ensure. Sometimes the need dates is called the drop dead date. If I don't receive the order by the 15th of the month, I'm dead. On-time shipment also. No. On-time receipt is also the time at which a receiving station complete receptions of a message. Then, complete shipment. Order commonly called for numerous items, sometimes in match set. A manufacturer of office furniture receive order for a match desk, chairs, tables, and file cabinet. An order probably contains the requirements to furnish one particular office. Complete shipment also, the complete status means that your order has shipped. It doesn't mean that it's been delivered, only that it's been marked as shipped into our system. When marked as complete, you'll be able to track your order and follow along for delivery statement. Then, quality of receipt. The quality of materials can deteriorate between the time it leaves the production floor and the time of arrives at the customer's storeroom. Packaging, loading, transport, and unloading can all take the toll. Although damage can be claimed, material received in poor condition are unstable for processing or distribution. Then, flexibility. Flexibility is the extent to which a supplier can accommodate a customer's request. Perhaps the request is for special processing, packaging, or shipment. Even make to stock, manufacturers receive such requests. The need to be flexible, blur, and distinction between make to order. Then, responsiveness to inquiry. Customer want assurance that their orders are on schedule, especially as the same shipping date near. This element of customer service is the timeliness, and accuracy of the information a supplier provide customers. Supplier who can't locate an order on a shop floor or in the warehouse or who answer all inquiries with "it just went out on the truck" inspired little confidence. Then, customer satisfaction, the balance. First, to summarize, customers want, then short lead time, good quality, high value, customized product, and post-sale service. And the last, the cost of satisfying customer delivery time need may not be entirely no, but we can argue that none of these elements of customer satisfaction are realized without cost. Then, quality. We hear so much about quality that it may come as a surprise that even experts don't agree about how to achieve it. Fortune recently asked the gurus of industrial quality to define it any assigned responsibility for quality. To some, quality it is technical matter. It has to do with engineering, both the process technology and product design. Then, quality in large part is what people perceive it to be. One form perceptions to qualitatively evaluate consumers' product and services. Consumer Union first identify the relevant characteristic of the product. It then tests comparable product of variation, manufacturers, and classification as best buy, acceptable, not acceptable. Best buy implies a product with high value. Value in turn is the ratio of the quality and price. Then, the quality level. The process technology and experience of a supplier limit the range of quality possible. We wouldn't expect a general machine shop to, to produce high-quality integrated circuit chips. The design of the product must be producible given the process quality of the supplier. Within the range top management set the quality level, the degree to which the product functionally satisfies your customer. Then, objective qualities. This is the degree to which materials conforms to a specification. If conformance is high, the company can claim that product quality is high. Lawnmower specifications are complex. Hundreds of the parts are produced and assembled. Each part has numerous dimensions and properties. It is possible that objectively a product is high quality but subjectively low quality. Too often, the answer is yes. High quality product must both conform closely to specification and satisfy customer expectation. Then, specifying materials. Disagreement between supplier and customer about quality often stem from a misunderstanding about materials specification. Supplier frequently interpret a specification in the way customers never intended. Qualified supplier given identical specification may come to a quite different conclusions about what the customers want. If one definitions of quality is conformance to spec, the qualification must be unambiguous. The manner of specifying materials depend on the kinds of materials ordered. Then, raw materials. These are semi-processed materials intended for further processing. Raw stock, crude oil, bituminous coal, paperboard, paper lumber, copper, wheat, and cotton, for example. The materials listed are called commodities. Their specification result from agreement on standard, as for example the U.S. Department of Agriculture's specification for meat and grains. Purchase part. Purchase part includes semi-finished item that will be further processed and finished materials that will become component of finished and item. The usual way of specifying purchase part in made-to-order environment is with a graphic descriptions, that is, engineering drawings. Drawing utilize, drawings utilize standard conventions for showing dimensions, finish, hardness, and other properties. The drawing completely and unambiguously describes the part. Then, maintenance, repair, and operation, or MRO supplies. MRO materials are quite diverse. They are specified in various ways. The key are quality and uniqueness. Then, maintenance. These are the items that we expect to periodically replace in a piece of equipment. Over time, machine parts are subject to wear and are replaced. Then, repair. The distinction between maintenance and repair materials is not always clear. In theory, if good maintenance is practiced, event requirements repair will occur infrequently. Then, operating supply. These supplies, also called indirect materials, become part of the end item and are essential for its production, but their until value for size is too small to plan or control usage unit by unit. A good example is rivet.
May klase ka?
But their mass unit value or size is too small to plan or control usage unit by unit. A good example of rivets used in airframe construction. Rivets are counted by weighting them. Then, tooling. There are two kinds of tooling with respect. There's specifications. The first kind of standard tooling. Various holding devices, partitioners, material cutting, and forming tools are standard with respect to their size and capacity. As with standard materials, tools are specified by manufacturers, part of or model number, or by an industry code. Then, the purpose of this chapter was to focus on materials management in support of a transformation of raw materials and components part into shipped goods and finished goods inventory. The basic function of inventory is to decouple the entire transformation process. Then, thank you for listening. This is all about chapter 4. Thank you po.